Welcome in live on ArrowVision to the Broken Arrow Tiger Fieldhouse. Dylan Rivera, Coach Tiff Jones, Madison Dildine is down on the hardwood waiting for us to toss it to her. Coach, Broken Arrow taking on Northwest Classen tonight, but the Tigers took a hard-fought loss in the Jinx Union tournament. You're looking to see how they respond tonight, right?
Absolutely. Take a loss, come back and get some wins, and once again, we're on the roll now, going to have momentum going into the best time of the year, and that's playoff basketball in Oklahoma.
It's right around the corner. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Shields, but first, we want to go to our quick trip, quick thoughts with Coach Coffey. All right, Tigers, before we get into things, we got Coach Coffey here with me. I want to go back before we start looking forward. And Jinx Union tournament, you guys lost a game there. Take me through those 3 games and how you guys fared.
Yeah, I mean, Thursday night we played Union, just there was a 1-week difference in play, and they came out fired up and they wanted to get that win, and they shot 59% from the field. I mean, they did everything right, and it wasn't anything against our team and what we were doing wrong. They just deserved to win on that given night. But I really believe that was a game in which our team really grew from as a result of that loss, knowing that you can't be taking anybody for granted. You've got to come ready to play every night. And as you went into Friday and Saturday, our kids went in prepared mentally, physically. We got the job done with good victories.
You just said it there. You can't take anything for granted. Tonight, an opportunity for you guys to get a win, but it's against an opponent that on paper you're probably favored against. How do you try not to gloss over anybody? How do you try to make sure you're focusing in on those details against opponents like you have today?
Yeah, I mean, our big thing, we need to focus on us, and you're at a point now in the season where you're starting to fine-tune certain things so that you can make that true playoff run. And I look at our team right now, and they're hungry again. After that loss, it made them hungry. So they've been working really hard in practice the last couple days. They're doing the things that we need to do. But our big thing is we want to see us out execute our opponent tomorrow night. We want to make sure that we're being better in our transition game, being better in defensive rotations, things that the average fan doesn't understand, but we know as coaches and as a team, we've got to be really sharp in that to have a chance to make a strong run in the playoffs.
We'll see how it goes. Tip-off live here on ArrowVision in just a few moments.
You know it's this, money swallowed like sis, they done perfected the kid. Got a really new single, my hater, don't be better, pull out the road, I just win. I know we got $1 million, the devil, they see they not cheap it again. Playlist, yeah, playlist, yeah. You know it's this, take a perk and it's talking and shit. Money swallowed like sis, they done perfected the kid. Got a really new single, my hater, don't be better, pull out the road, I just win. I know we got $1 million, the devil, they see they not cheap it again. Playlist, yeah, playlist, yeah.
Tip-off now just moments away, live here on ArrowVision in a district clash between Broken Arrow and Northwest Classen. Dylan Rivera, Coach Tiff Jones, and Madison Dildine here bringing the game to you. It's going to be a fun one tonight for Broken Arrow. They've got a real chance to put up some major points.
Yeah, absolutely. We played this team back in December, obviously, and teams do change a little bit, and they grow and they get better, but we've grown and we've continued to get better over the year. We had a loss last week. We are on the upswing right now, and this is a chance for us to come out and, I would say, make a big statement going into late February.
The lights are down because the starting lineups are just about to be announced here for the Lady Tigers, and it's the usual 5. Macy Marasini gets the start at point guard, a 5'5" senior. They're all seniors. I'm just going to put that out there. Number 22, Peyton Dolan is a guard, 5'8". Number 23, Rakaya Bowen is a guard-forward combo, 5'11". Mackenzie Mathurin is a guard, 5'10", wears number 25. And Taryn Jacobs gets the start inside, 6'1" forward, wears number 33. Starting lineups for Northwest Classen. Number 2 is Kamaya Coleman, a sophomore guard. She is 5'5". Number 11 is Kamairi Thomas, a freshman guard at 5'4". Number 12 is Dominique Daly, a junior guard, 5'6". Number 22, Serenity Moore, senior post player, 5'8". And number 25, Destiny Garrett, a junior post player at 5'6". The energy ramping up here inside. The Tigers down on the court. Students decked out in their camo tonight.
Night, yes. It is. It's great to have kids here on a Friday night in the gym. But I love that they're here to support the Lady Tigers tonight.
Broken Arrow comes in tonight 16-2 overall, 8-0 in district play. Northwest Classen 3-11 overall, 0-8 in their district.
This is definitely an opportunity for us tonight, really, to make a statement once again, and really to, you come out and take care of business. I think this is one of those games. Come do what you need to do, take care of business, and work on some things that you need to work on heading into the end of regular season.
So the Tigers start out with possession. It's Macy Marasini up top, kicking it outside to Dolan. And the Knights start out in a zone defense. Quickly swung to the corner for Mathurin. Front iron. Ball into the corners, maybe saved by Jacobs. They say she was out of play first.
Northwest Classen coming out, starting in zone right off the bat, trying to slow things down and maybe limit how many times we can get the ball in the paint tonight. We'll see how long that lasts, and you get somebody out of a zone by knocking down some threes.
Ball stolen away by Mathurin, right at the top of the key, driving the other way. Left-hand layups, good off the window.
Defense to offense, right?
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Tigers.
We can get out and pressure tonight. I think we can get a lot of points in transition tonight.
Lady Tigers do like to play up-tempo ball as well. And another steal. This time it's Marasini. Got numbers, flicks it back to Bowen. She'll flick up a three, and it's off. Long rebound now going the other way. Quickly Coleman trying to find something, but stumbles over the ball, and it's a turnover for Northwest Classen.
Well, Northwest Classen's had 3 possessions and 3 turnovers, and we're a minute and 10 seconds into the first quarter, so they need to take care of the ball for them to be successful, but we're doing a good job defensively putting pressure on them.
Swinging around the perimeter, Marasini drives baseline and gets the fall. She loves that floater shot. That's one of her strengths down there on the floor.
So you can tell she's put a lot of time in working on that. And for someone who, even at the next level for Macy, being undersized a little bit, but she makes up for that. We've talked about over and over just in her effort. But that's going to be a good shot for her in the next level. So,
yeah, definitely with a size disadvantage at the college ranks, being able to float that shot over a post player will come in handy. Of course, Macy Marasini headed to Missouri S&T, and she'll be drilling threes when she gets there. Knocks one down from outside.
Good move, and yeah, I think we saw in the last just couple of weeks what happens when Macy scores so effective offensively and is very efficient. I heard something over the weekend when I was watching ball games. I think Jay Billis said, if you're good, then you're big enough. And I thought that's very true. Macy, that would be applicable to Macy.
I've always heard the phrase, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah.
And certainly a lot of fight in Macy Marasini.
Absolutely. Every night out, every possession.
Long possession here for the Knights. Still maintaining possession. Yet to get up a shot, and there's the first one. Heavily contested. The Tigers maintain possession even after a miscommunication. Ball into the corner. Mathurin drives inside. Couple of steps and a foul.
Just a little lift fake. Defense gets in the air. She went right to the basket. Mackenzie did. I mean, it was like, once again, it was a huge hole. You could have driven a semi-truck through that one. I think it was a big hole. And so good fake, good move. And it looks like, once again, we need to go out and do what we need to do tonight, take care of business. It's kind of a weird combination right now. It looks like we're relaxed, but are we too relaxed? It's kind of not a ton. And I think it's also hard when you beat a team with the margin like that. It's hard to get super motivated to come out and be enthusiastic about playing them again. So this is a mental test as much as anything else probably tonight.
Absolutely. The Tigers beat Northwest Classen 100-16 in December. was one of the first games on the season. And a timeout now for Northwest Classen. Timeouts tonight brought to you by TTCU. 9-0 lead for Broken Arrow. It'll be one of those games where, really, truly, I know it's coach speak, but you've just got to focus on your own game.
Yeah, it really is. And I know Coach Coffey all night tonight. This is a game that you always just want to be like, don't get into bad habits. Don't do things that we shouldn't be doing. Sometimes when you're playing a team like that, it's like you can do things that are not going to be successful against a very well-disciplined team, maybe a more competitive team. And so I love, we talked about even before the game, Northwest Classen, they're here, they're competing. That coach is working hard. Those players are trying to get better. We're doing the same thing at Broken Arrow, but we need to work on getting even 1% better tonight at any little thing that we're going to work on once again for the long haul. Another steal by Mathurin.
And she gets the shot to drop. That one went high off the glass. And the Tigers build it to an 11-point lead.
We're going to stay in man defense right now and just work on keeping the ball in front, being sound defensively, making them shoot over us.
Another turnover for Northwest Classen. Mathurin driving quickly, left-hand layup again. She likes those left-hand layups.
It's like, I've kind of seen a pattern tonight, haven't you? That's been this side tonight.
Coleman up top. Dolan defending. Dominique Daly gets stopped up. Kick back out to Coleman. Into the lane. Floater is good off the front rim. Corner three from Dolan goes right through the cylinder, and she is money from outside.
So good look by Macy. Once again, they score, but we get the ball out, running transition. Peyton spots up. That's her strength, and they get her spotted up on the three-point line, and Macy did a good job just feeding her the ball.
Coleman gets around the screen, and the ball poked away by Mathurin. Two substitutions, Kate Wigginton into the game, as well as Janiah McCrary. Mathurin and Dolan, the two to be subbed out.
Everybody's getting matched up again defensively.
McCrary guarding Coleman. Coleman seems to be the predominant ball handler for the Knights.
Yeah, she's had it more than anybody else for sure.
Rest of the team working to find an open spot on the floor. Coleman, another floater. Goes off back iron. Janiah McCrary, an outlet pass. Bowen called for a travel.
Yeah. That was a good look up the floor, clearly.
Looked like one of those moments where she thought about putting that ball on the floor, but thought,
yeah,
maybe I can get two steps in. And as she was walking back, looked at the bench and said, my bad.
Well, that's just that's a little thing tonight, right? She knew. In fact, she probably in the middle. Oh, another steal.
McCrary on the run out, gets tripped up.
We've had a lot of steals for us, a lot of turnovers for them early with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Those are unusually high numbers, I will say that, in that category.
Soraya Matthew now out on the floor. So McCrary, Wigginton, Matthew, Bowen, and inside it's Taryn Jacobs. Ball swung around the perimeter, but the defense read it. Nice job by Destiny Garrett to deflect the pass. 2:04 on the first quarter clock.
Our baseline runners, if that bottom part of that zone comes out and picks up the baseline runner, then we're going to be wide open on the wing. We're going to make them make a decision.
Bowen from the corner can't get it to fall. Matthew got the offensive board, and it bounces out of play off of the Tigers.
haven't been a ton of offensive rebounds, but we've also shot a lot of layups, right? There's not going to be a lot of offensive rebounds.
Garrett outside, Wigginton defending. Couple of handoffs on the perimeter, trying to find an opening. Coleman drives by Wigginton. Another floater goes long. Bowen on the run out. A bounce pass up ahead to Matthews. She's all by herself for an easy 2.
Another layup, Dylan. Another layup. So I will say, defensively, we need to work on not slapping for the basketball, coming over the top and doing that. Once again, that would be kind of a bad habit to get into tonight. It's very tempting when the ball is literally right in front of you, but once again, keeping good fundamentals, coming up and flipping it from the bottom so you don't pick up a foul, and keeping the ball in front of you, just moving your feet and make them go around you. So
Jaylee Atchison makes an early appearance here for Broken Arrow. About 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Swung around to Wigginton. She's got all kinds of space to let it fire, and it's off the mark. Now the run out. Garrett trying to maintain possession, poked away by McCrary. Fired ahead to Matthew. Matthew just mishandled it as he was trying to get it over to Jacobs. And another turnover for the Knights. McCrary with 10 seconds on the clock. Hesitates, drives, finishes. So that closes out quarter number 1. 20-2 the scoreline. Broken Arrow up by 18. Still a lot more basketball coming our way, so you want to keep it right here on ArrowVision.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Welcome back here on ArrowVision inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. Broken Arrow up by a pretty good margin here after one quarter, 20-2 over the Northwest Classen Knights. Dylan Rivera, Coach Tiff Jones, Madison Dildine on the sidelines. And, Coach, this is kind of how we expected this one to start.
absolutely. And, I mean, looking at it statistically, they've had a lot of turnovers. We've been able to capitalize. We've had a lot of layups tonight. We've had 1-3, but everything else has really been in the paint. I know McKenzie had a couple of free throws, but most of our points have once again been in the paint. And to hold a team to only 2 points in a quarter, that's some good defense.
Let's go back and recap the Jinx Union tournament a little bit for Broken Arrow. They beat Edmond Santa Fe in the finale there, that final game. Won 64-38, but the storyline that we come away with is the loss to Union. You remember they were here at the Tiger Fieldhouse, and it took a furious rally in the fourth quarter for Broken Arrow to get a victory, and I believe that was a 5-point victory if I've got my numbers right. And we're able to do that here at Broken Arrow. But then in the Jinx Union tournament, they lose to the Red Hawks. They were on a 9-game winning streak going in, lost 73-66. Got the game down to 1 point late, but 59% shooting and 9 of 12 from 3-point led the Red Hawks to a victory.
And you got to know, when somebody shoots 9 for 12 or goes that, 75% from the 3-point line, that's a really good shooting, and that's hard to overcome. And I know that defensively, we talked the other night, just their athleticism gave us a little bit of trouble. I mean, we trailed the majority of the game, and they were in control, even into the fourth quarter. And so a different game, clearly, because Union didn't kill us from the 3-point line like they did at home, last week. It was interesting how different the games were. They're just a few days apart.
games were different, but also in some ways similar. The Tigers trailed for a lot of the game and then had to rally back, but it was just too little too late, and Union made a lot of tough shots down the stretch to pull away. Tigers right now up by 20 after a shot made by Rakaya Bowen here early in the second. Mathurin gets around a couple of defenders, drives inside, floater won't go, offensive board, puts it on the floor, can't get it, another offensive board, a third try, now another offensive board, and she kicks it back out. Bowen in the lane, right under the bucket, and an offensive foul goes against Rakaya Bowen.
That was a lot of offensive rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds in one possession, and they were all within really 2 feet of the basket, weren't they?
Mathurin's all smiles. It can be that way when you're got a good lead, but obviously that's one of those situations where you'd hope in a different scenario, different game, she makes one of those layups.
Yeah. Well, and just like that, Classen drives right out of bounds on their right side there, steps out of bounds, and another turnover for Northwest Classen tonight.
Mathurin on the perimeter. Patience from the Tigers and a great feed. Atchison wide open down low. Can't get the shot to drop, and it goes out off a broken arrow.
It's a great look out top when the ball's reversed. Anytime a zone like that, somebody can pin on the backside, and there's literally nobody between her and the basket, and that kind of skip passes. And you teach that in every zone offense, to seal on the backside, seal the post, and you're going to get a good look. And so I'm sure Jaylee wishes she could have that one back tonight.
Double dribble goes against Northwest Classen. And Taryn Jacobs set to check in. She'll take over for Jaylee Atchison. The Knights still in that zone defense.
Be interesting to see what they're going to work on offensively. I love getting the ball to short corner down there against the zone. I think that's how you can beat a zone.
Bowen's pass deflected. Tigers still in possession. Fed inside, Jacobs right underneath the hoop. A nice little handoff and a spin on the reverse layup from Mathurin.
It's a great pass by Taryn right there. Good cut by Kenzie. I mean, the defense had their back to their head turned, but they're also their back to the cutter. They couldn't see her coming in from behind, and to have that little dish right there, great look by Taryn. That's just an instinct play. You can tell they've done that before.
Destiny Garrett with Mathurin defending. Tigers being swarmed, or excuse me, the Knights being swarmed out on that perimeter. Ball in the corner, pass deflected by Dolan. And a substitution for Northwest Classen brings Kamairi Thomas back out on the floor. Takes the place of Vanessa Lopez Gonzalez. Mathurin steals it. And off to the races she goes. Another left-hand layup goes right through.
Offensively, the Lady Knights just continue to struggle just to get a shot up, and having a hard time just getting started really in an offense, much less getting a shot up, really. Another steal.
Mathurin on the run out. That ball's stolen. And the Knights take over on offense. They might have numbers here. And a travel. Goes against Lene Garrett. 4:20 on the clock here in the second quarter.
A little over 4 minutes left, and I've already got 14 turnovers for the Lady Knights tonight.
Ball inside to Jacobs. And then inside to Bowen.
That's going back offensively. We've got the ball to short corner with Taryn, which makes the middle of the zone come out, and then for Rakaya just to cut down to the turnover for Northwest Classen. But pulling that zone out, making that defender's decision they've got to make between covering the short corner and giving up a 6-foot shot, or do they stay back? And that's a great look. You teach that kind of an Arkansas set offensively against any kind of zone, that high-low in the short corner, the girl cutting. It's tough to cover.
Janai McCrary out on the floor. Kate Wigginton as well. Soraya Matthews subbed in. Ball kicked over to the corner. Marasini from outside. It's true.
Her second three-pointer tonight.
Marasini up to 8 points now. Ball poked loose. Knights drive inside. Quick pass. And it rolls off the rim. McCrary kicks out to Wigginton from the corner for three. It's long. And the rebound goes to the Knights.
It's a good look for Kate. I mean, she's had 2 good looks tonight, so. And I'm going to say, even right now, I mean, we're getting some good minutes. A lot of people are getting to play already tonight in the first half, and these are such valuable minutes for a variety of reasons, but you're getting minutes in case you get in foul trouble, you know, in closer games, and you've got players that have actually played in a varsity game, got some experience, and chemistry is such an X factor, but getting some chemistry maybe with some different groups tonight, which once again, that can be helpful late in the season.
Jacobs at the elbow, kicks to the far side. Marasini tries another three, and it rattles in.
3 threes right there. And I'll tell you what, Jacobs now has 3 assists.
34-2. Less than 2:20 until the intermission. Northwest Classen offense kind of came to a standstill there. Got to keep motion moving. Got to keep players moving. Ball stolen. Outlet pass to Marasini, and the layup.
Marasini with the Tiger layup.
Macy Marasini has 13 points now.
It's like just defensively, just keep the ball in front, right? Be fundamental, be sound. Stay in good, good solid fundamentals. And once again, I think we look up and it's 36-2.
McCrary, right hand side, she gets the finish.
So it's not about the doubt about what's going to happen tonight and it's going to be what's the score, but it's about what are we going to do and really getting some other people some valuable playing time right now.
And Coach Coffey doing that at this very moment, subbing in Audrey Dow, the sophomore forward. And the Knights also subbing in number 22, Serenity Moore. One minute remaining until halftime. Tigers way in front.
Get a 5-second count right there. Just playing good defense, moving her feet, not reaching. I'd say don't get slap happy tonight, right? Just keep your feet moving.
McCrary doing a nice job there, just staying in front. And still managing to force a turnover at that. Wigginton drives baseline, couple of steps, and a shot off the glass.
Maybe that'll get her going from the outside. Get a little bunny in there.
It's Garrett. Trying to dribble into Wigginton, kicking it back out. Again, it's Garrett. Corner three blocked by Jacobs. She was smiling at that one.
She was.
Beautiful pass from Dow to Matthew, and a great find and a great finish right before the buzzer. 42-2, the halftime score. The Tigers doing a nice job defensively, forcing a lot of turnovers, then turning that defense into offense. They're getting out for a lot of easy layups.
Well, and that's, once again, we talk about high percentage shot. There's really nothing higher than an uncontested layup. That's about the best shot you can get. So It's great to go into halftime with the 40-point lead, and we've gotten some players some playing time.
Absolutely, and it's going to continue to probably be this way throughout the second half, is just getting those young players minutes, getting them a chance to experience some varsity action.
Once again, I know we've said it before, but there's really nothing quite like being in a varsity game. And you can practice and do all that stuff, but once again, to reward those kids that are in practice every day and they're working hard and they're getting on the floor tonight, their families are getting to see them, their friends in the stands are getting to see them, so this is a big win for the program.
So 40-point advantage for BA at the intermission, and we will come right back on ArrowVision, talk to Coach Coffey, and get ready for half number 2.
In the rhythm of music,
the rhythm of music,
every mind
finds
its melody.
There's 2 things that Liam Himes loves most: his gummy bears and the violin.
We were taking some walks, and we walked past the orchestra room one day, and Liam stopped me and he said, "Miss Marlowe, do you hear that? It's the violins. I love the violin."
Liam often gets lost in the wondrous sounds of the orchestra, sometimes a little too lost.
This song makes me sleepy. You guys just makes me close my eyes. Because that song was relaxing.
A bit different than what he used to listen to.
Well, I remember my old favorite one is rock and roll, and I just started to love the violins.
Liam is a special education student at Oliver Middle School. Students like him often don't get the chance to play the violin, much less sit in for orchestra class. Mr. Paul Roberts is trying to change that.
It's nice to be able to offer some help to somebody who otherwise probably wouldn't have the chance to be in the regular orchestra class, and he's picking it up pretty quickly.
Liam learns privately with Mr. Roberts once or twice a week, working on songs like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But Mr. Roberts' favorite part is building a relationship through music.
Just getting to know him. I think we've seen each other in the hallway before this, but it's been nice to meet a kid that's not in one of my classes, and get to work with him and find out about him.
Teacher and student in the orchestra room, friends outside of it. And that's Liam. More than a musician and student, a friend to everyone.
Liam is just amazing. I mean, every morning he comes in with the biggest smile. And every morning he comes in with just the most amazing high five. So it doesn't matter what day I'm having when I get here.
At Oliver Middle School with ArrowVision, I'm Dylan Rivera.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat, and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. All within the QT app.
Halftime performance by the Tigers. Always good to see them come out on the floor. Halftime show brought to you by St. Francis. The Tigers headed down to Nationals here pretty soon. Cheer team actually just this next week. They are gone, I believe, the 4th through the 11th, and then the Tigers turn around and they go down there. I think it's the 11th through whatever day, but
they're going also. All right,
it's back to back. It's one and then the other. But boy, an exciting time for sure for both of those teams. Exciting time right now for the Tigers, up 40. Madison Dildine with Coach Coffey on the sidelines.
Got a significant lead. What were your thoughts on that first half of play?
Our biggest theme going into today is just focusing on us. What are we going to be like offensively? Are we moving the ball? Are we making cuts? Are we doing little things here? I was really disappointed defensively on how we were moving. We weren't diving after loose balls. We were just kind of going through a walk in the park. And that's something that is not an identity of who we are. And that was the one frustrating side. Hopefully you see a little different side of that in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Madison, thank you. Good to hear from you tonight. You're doing a great job down there. 42-2 halftime score. We'll take one more commercial break and come right back to break things down and get ready for half number 2.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat, and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. All within the QT app. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
8 minutes set for the third quarter of action. Broken Arrow up by 40 here live on ArrowVision. You're watching the Tigers and the Northwest Classen Knights. Coach Coffey there in the huddle, giving some commands, giving some tips, probably talking about that defensive effort, isn't he?
I think the intensity of which they're playing.
That's his favorite word, isn't it?
I know. I think I've probably said that 1,000 times or more. Let's be real. You would ask any of my former players, they would say, like, all the time. That's what she talked about. But we talked about it before the game started, and that's exactly what Coach Coffey said coming out, right, was what are we doing? And it's not about the other team tonight. It's about how we're working on things and our effort, our intensity. And it just, you don't want to get into a bad habit at this point in the year.
Right now on the floor, it's the starting 5 for Broken Arrow. Still getting some minutes here to start this third quarter. The free throw line, it's Bowen. Three-point shot is no good by Mathurin. Offensive rebound, Bowen spills out. It's Mathurin again. Driving baseline, reverse layup, squeaks its way in.
And now it was a right-handed layup, right? Well, it was on the right side anyway. But offensive rebound, and we haven't had, once again, hadn't had a lot of those tonight. But it was good to see Rakai get in and get one.
Coleman's layup rolls off the rim, no good. Was one of the best looks they've had all game long.
Absolutely.
Dolan from outside, corner 3 won't go. Now Coleman the long rebound, the run out, 2-on-1. And Coleman's layup no good. Now the Tigers pushing it. Dolan up ahead to Bowen. Long three-pointer in transition, off the mark. And it goes out of play off of Broken Arrow.
Like we've had some threes go up tonight. I think in the first half, you know, Macy from the three-point line, she was hotter than a stolen tamale.
There's another one of those Coach Jones-isms for you. Nice move by Coleman to get around Marasini. And then the ball stripped away by Rakai Bowen.
I'm going back to what Coach Coffey just said about defensively. I'm not sure when he looks at that last 10 seconds of defense, he's going to be super excited about how we played that one. But once again, it's 44-2, and that's kind of hard to, a little bit different than being in a situation where it's 44-40, and yeah, it's a tight game because it's anything but that right now.
Mathurin inside, layup won't drop. Long rebound for Jacobs. She's able to save it. Marasini on the perimeter, up top. Mathurin driving, floating it up. Won't go. Rebound Jacobs, and a foul will send Jacobs to the free throw line.
Good backside rebound. Some players just have a nose for the ball, you know, when the shot goes up, and being able to watch it come off the rim and know where the best place to get, or the highest percentage to get a rebound. And so I think Taryn's got a little bit of a knack for that.
Free throws brought to you by First National Bank tonight. Second free throw drops, 46-2 now.
See defensively, see if Coach Coffey maybe gets a little bit happier about our effort on defense, or if he's just going to put some other players in. And
three-pointer, a good look, just didn't drop. Long outlet pass, Mathurin right under the rim, and a great feed from Marasini to get that there just in time for Mathurin to get the finish.
It's like she dropped it in there. It was a great look. I think, Dylan, that goes back to a little bit of chemistry, right? People that have played together for a long time.
Wear the same shoes.
Yes.
They're out there in the same magenta shoes. Or maybe pink. Is that pink?
That's pink.
Sorry, my eyes from up here, I guess, aren't that good at telling color.
I'll tell you what is something different that we don't see very many nights tonight is that, great pass from McKenzie to Macy.
That
going the other way.
Yes,
that
chemistry.
Chemistry.
Key again.
Yes.
Mathurin to Marasini.
That was not where I was headed, but I'll tell you what, like Northwest Classen, they have an interpreter that is communicating with one of their players tonight, sign language. And I think about, wow, how cool is that to see a student athlete who is hearing impaired that's playing, you know, at the varsity level, playing on a basketball team. Got to be some different challenges, but I love, I don't know that young lady. I don't know anything about her story, but how cool is it that she's participating, and that what many would perceive as a physical limitation is not stopping her from chasing her dreams and getting to play basketball.
It absolutely shows a lot of heart for her to go out there and compete, not only in games, but of course in practice she's got to be going through the motions as well, going through scrimmages, all those sorts of things. And being able to do all of that and, have the interpreter by her side, I mean, that's not an easy thing to do, and it takes a lot of heart to go out there and say, you know what, I'm going to play the game of basketball no matter what.
And how she's having to watch her interpreter, but also the ball and the man she's guarding and everything else. And I thought that's pretty cool. And I think at Broken Arrow, I mean, I want to brag on our kids a little bit, but just the support that we have in our district, at the district level, but also with our student body for maybe some people that have some different limitations. I think we all have limitations in some things. There are things that we, are a little harder for us than others. But
I can't tell colors of shoes from up here at the booth.
It's like, could be. That's a new one, right? But just the importance of inclusion and celebrating differences and valuing everybody's needs and everybody's exceptionalities. I think that we do a great job of that at Broken Arrow, and really our student body on campus. If you're around very long, you get to see how they celebrate all people with all different kinds of gifts and talents, and it's not just one criteria that we value over everything else, but it's the value of each person.
Very well said. Ball goes out of bounds. Substitution for the Knights. And out onto the floor is Faye Briggs. Tigers in possession, up 54-2. It is a running clock here in the second half, so when the ball goes out of play or goes to the free throw line, the clock will continue to run. Wigginton drives in for a midi and knocks it down.
She's like, I'll just take that. Once again, it's kind of a situation where we can get almost any shot we want to get. And you want to take good shots and execute things that you would want to get in the normal flow of the offense. Sometimes it's almost like an interesting, kind of a weird challenge when so many things are open at one time. Just the discipline to still take a good shot, and a shot that would be in the flow of the offense.
Foul called against Soraya Matthew.
She was just kind of standing there, Dylan. Just kind of like, but they'll get to go to the free throw line, right?
Not many fouls against the Tigers tonight. Not like they're in foul trouble, so certainly you can eat one there. Coleman at the free throw line. Again, free throws brought to you by First National Bank. Next up for the Lady Tigers is a big one. It's Edmond North, and that's on the road, so they're inside the Siberian Gym. And that's next Tuesday. Got to remember, Edmond North was the state runner-up in 2024. They're 14-4, right behind Broken Arrow in the district at 7-1. Broken Arrow beat them earlier this season by 3 points, so the Tigers have a 3-point advantage. Even if they end up losing the game, they would split the series, but they would need to lose by less than 3 for those district points, right?
And that's going to be, I mean, we talk about, kind of a game, even I think going into the season, that was one that we all would have circled, right, is, hey, this is going to be a turnover there. Once again, execution. Coach Coffey down there clapping on that one. But we would have circled those games specifically just to be like, okay, these are going to be huge games. And what are we going to, those are going to be, that could be defining on, seedings and everything for postseason. So
Absolutely.
it's a big one next week.
56-4 the score after 3 quarters. A bucket from Kamaya Coleman there for the Knights gets them up to 4. Tigers in front. 4th quarter on the way here on ArrowVision.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
We're back inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. The Tigers with a 52-point advantage. Dylan Rivera, Coach Tiff Jones, and Madison Gildine bringing the game to you. And Broken Arrow has been able to build a really insurmountable lead to the point where we are running the clock here in this second half. And now out on the floor, the Tigers have their second unit. It's Kate Wigginton, Janiah McCrary, Jaylee Atchison, Scarlett Shell, and Soraya Matthew.
Another turnover for the Lady Knights. I would imagine that Coach Coffey just talked a little bit about defense and position and fundamentals between the third and fourth quarter. Because once again, it doesn't matter who's in the game. You want every player to come in and execute and play well.
Great shot from Shell and a great offensive board from Atchison. Shell's three-point shot just couldn't find the mark. It went in and out, and Atchison, almost like magnetized to it, got that offensive board.
She was thinking about that little one, the chip shot she missed earlier in the game, I think.
You said she'd want it back, and she
Yes.
got it back. Speaking of getting it back, a offensive board for Coleman, but then can't get the second opportunity. Wigginton on the breakaway. Pump fake from Atchison. Ball spills outside. Matthew thought about the three, kicked over to Shell. And a floater from Shell is good.
And really good ball movement. I mean, this unit, they're sharing the ball really well. And once again, I know it's 60-4 with 6:35 left in the fourth quarter, but just once again, what are we doing? We want to move the ball well, and Coach Coffey talked about that even at halftime.
I think these minutes are really important for a lot of these girls that are out there. Obviously, Kate Wigginton is a senior, but you go through the rest of them out there. Scarlett Shell is a junior. Janiah McCrary is a sophomore. Jaylee Atchison, a junior. Soraya Matthews, a sophomore. So really valuable minutes for these girls to get out on the varsity floor and get some reps.
Yeah, I mean, we are a senior heavy team, which is a blessing right now. The next season, it makes it difficult when you've got so many players that haven't had very many minutes, and honestly, and this is going to sound crazy, but it's almost like we have 6 starters, because our 6 seniors that are out there, you could interchange, and they all bring different things to the game. And even when we didn't have Taryn, that night out, and Kate Wigginton steps in, like most schools they'd kill to have as a player like that coming off the bench, because it might have been their best player on the whole squad. So
ball goes inside and out of play off of the Lady Tigers. Broken Arrow comes into this one on a 13-game home winning streak, 5-0 at home this season. I know that's something that Coach Coffey is really proud of, the way they've been able to protect their home floor. And that's not a simple task, Coach, to string together that many wins at home and be able to defend your home floor against some of these teams that have come in here have been really talented and been able to do so at a high level.
Well, I mean, we go back to even just like the Union game we played at home, not the one in the tournament, but we were behind and had to really claw our way back. Another turnover and steal going back the other direction, but just that ability to fight back, and we did have to fight. I think that was a really good game for us because things just weren't coming easy that night, and we had to overcome some things. And even against Edmond North when we played here that night, there were some things, they've got a great post player, but just some matchup difficulties, and a team that's been to the state championship that many times in recent years, even though they've graduated some players, there's something about that culture of winning and being able to win at a high level consistently. And so that's just, once again, we're getting experience in a different way. Edmond North's had that for a long time, and so I think Tuesday night's going to be, it's going to be a big matchup. I'm excited to see what happens.
It really will likely decide the district. Obviously, you've still got some more district games to go after that, but based off of the standings, based off of how the scores have shaped out, that one really kind of is the deciding factor. And Broken Arrow knows that, and I tried to ask Coach Coffey a little bit. I said, how do you not look too far ahead? How do you try to plan for Edmond North, but at the same time know you still got to play Northwest Classen on a Friday night? And he kind of talked about the same thing that we've been saying all night long, is we've just got to focus on ourselves, got to do our own thing, and just worry about what we're doing out on the floor this Friday. Try to treat it almost like, hey, we want to get better tonight, shape up a little bit, make sure we're ready to go for those bigger games when they come.
And I think there also comes a point, there's going to be the way the playoffs shake out, playing on a Thursday and a Saturday, there's going to be some crazy upset, because there always is an upset at some point in the playoffs. And you're going to have prep for both, but you kind of have a feeling you might, play this one. And kids definitely do that, probably more than coaches do, because we're all a little crazy about getting ready for everybody. But That's one of those situations where when you don't have a lot of time to prep, or you thought you were going to play somebody and it's very different, that's something maybe that you're not quite expecting, but it's like, but we do what we do, and we're going to control, we're going to play our game, and when somebody with our talent can play our game, I mean, sometimes it doesn't always matter what the other team does. And that's just the bottom line. And so this is probably an example tonight. Once again, look out there and just this squad offensively to come in and we're executing, we're moving the ball around.
Dow will try a three-pointer, and she's got it.
Nice.
It's in the veins.
I was like, it's Dow.
An Arrow Group three-pointer for Audrey Dow, 68-7 now.
Tell you what, you look at just another steal.
McCrary takes it away, and it's Jakira Vaughn stopping and dropping it in.
That last possession, when Dow knocks down the three, it was, you think about us, what we're trying to work on. Coach Coffey talked about defensive fundamentals, and I'm thinking as someone who loves defense, the importance of just having your arms out, having long arms, get out contesting shots, and not playing, you don't want to be like a T-Rex on defense, with short arms trying to, high-five somebody like that. You want to get out and be long, and I think for us, even this squad that's out right now, they've got hands in the passing lanes. They're contesting shots, another block. They're ready to go the other way and put up some points.
Three-pointer from Jakira Vaughn.
Look at these
from the
sophomores
corner.
showing up.
And the Tigers adding to their lead. They should close things out with a very, very big victory. 73-7 the score right now, and only about a minute remaining. Tigers have 5 regular season games left after tonight. We mentioned that Edmond North game. That's the big one. That's next Tuesday on the road. Broken Arrow has their sights set on a victory there, and hopefully that will secure their place at the top of the district standings. McCrary steals it, drives it, stops. Look at her put on the brakes and get the finish.
Little grin right there, wasn't it?
And I think that should probably seal things. And they may just let time tick out if they get the ball back. I think Coach Coffey may have just said that to his girls. Coach Coffey tonight picks up win number 66 at Broken Arrow. Now has a 66-30 record. They're trying to get the ball actually over there to Hallie Smith. And a jump ball inside. Time running out. Referees say that it'll be Northwest Classen's basketball. And we'll close with a 75-7 win for Broken Arrow. Mentioned that's Coach Coffey's win, number 66.
Yep.
Bartlesville game on Valentine's Day will be his 100th game as head coach here at Broken Arrow.
That's a milestone right there.
Absolutely.
That's a big milestone.
I know Coach Coffey loves it here at Broken Arrow. He's having a lot of fun coaching these girls, trying to get them to a state championship. And they're definitely at the level where they should be competing for one this season. And a big victory over Northwest Classen 75-7 just kind of proves that.
Yeah, I mean, once again, we're setting stage. It's basketball's a marathon. It's a long season, and so just continue to work on. I mean, they've been working on this. This has been years. What we're seeing this year has been years of work, and to get it back to this point. So congratulations to the Lady Tigers staff and Coach Coffey, and then once again, we want to keep getting better, even 1% every day, get a little bit better every day, and we're going to get ready for Edmond North on Tuesday night.
So as they do, the Lady Tigers going through and high-fiving the student section. Coach Coffey high-fives as well. And then he'll catch up with our Madison Dildine down on the floor.
Thank you. Coach, at the half, you said you wanted to see improvement on the defensive side of the ball. How do you think you fared in that second half?
I thought our kids did a better job in the second half. It's hard to get up for a game like this, and we've really put a lot of focus this week on getting ready for the next game against Edmond North. And so our kids, I knew we may come out a little flat defensively, but I feel like they did a good job overall. And the big thing is I feel like we're rewarding our younger kids tonight, getting them an opportunity to be able to play because they're going to be a big part of the future. So
thanks, Coach.
Another big win for Coach Coffey. And Broken Arrow moves to 17-2 on the season with a 9-0 record in district. Northwest Classen falls to 3-12, 0-9 in district. Broken Arrow, as he mentioned, has Edmond North on the schedule, and being able to take some extra time to work on what the Huskies will do might just benefit Broken Arrow. Mentioned the early going, that loss to Union had a couple of games to respond and then had a lot of practices to respond. He mentioned to me it had been a long time since they had 2 straight practices in 2 straight days, and they were able to do that this past week. And just prepping for some of those bigger opponents down the line, that's something that the Tigers are looking forward to.
I think prepping for that, but also at this point in the season, being able to rest a little bit. I mean, everybody's like, well, you should be in shape. Yes, they are in shape. But the pounding on the floor, it's called the hardwood for a reason.
Yeah.
And so being able to buy some minutes tonight and get some other people in the game benefits them, but it also helps our legs a little bit and gets a little bit of rest, because there comes a point here in a couple weeks where I would say the bench shortens a little bit and not as much playing time to go around. And if you can have some rest going into that at that high intensity level that's coming, we know it's coming, that's going to benefit us as we get into regionals and then area and then, the state tournament at the Big House.
Again, only 5 regular season games left after tonight, so Broken Arrow's season continues to get shorter and shorter, and tournament time is getting closer and closer. I want to say thank you to Shields for sponsoring our broadcast tonight. Also want to say thank you to the Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation for all they do in making our broadcasts possible. Coach, it's now the post-game show brought to us by Tulsa Bone and Joint, and we have to name a player of the game. There was a lot of them out there that had really good games. I don't know if you've got one. You're making a face like you don't know yet.
Oh, I was just kind of thinking about that.
Our player of the game brought to you by Big Biscuit, our Big Biscuit player of the game. Going with Janiyah McCrary. All right.
I love that. I tell you what, Janiyah contributed tonight. I think she came in and she played with really 2 very different teams. All Lady Tigers, but 2 different groups. She gets minutes with that first top 6, top 7 players frequently. She's somebody that we depend on to come off the bench. I loved later in the game when she had some other players on the floor that do not get as much playing time, to get to watch her be the floor general and to be able to kind of take control. I think that's good because she's getting some minutes, and she's also been following kind of in the footsteps a little bit of what Macy, Maracini is usually our floor general. And so I love to, let's give a shout out to her tonight as the player of the game.
Janiyah McCrary, just a sophomore. I know she's one of those players that this coaching staff loves, and one that some of the media pundits out there believe can really explode and have a really good season and a really good career going forward here in Broken Arrow. The Tigers, as I mentioned, moved to 17-2, 9-0 in district play. But we've still got a lot more basketball to come. The boys' basketball game set to tip off here in just a few minutes. Broken Arrow versus Northwest Classen right around the corner. For Coach Tiff Jones, for Madison Dildine and our amazing crew, stick around for Game 2. Welcome in live, everybody, to the Broken Arrow Tiger Fieldhouse. The Tigers with Northwest Classen on the docket tonight. Broken Arrow coming in riding high, 17-1. Northwest Classen 7-10, coming in on the road, trying to get a big upset victory. Broken Arrow's very own Greg Spencer is here on color commentary. Madison Dildine down on the floor. Dylan Rivera here as your play-by-play voice. We are just a few moments away from tip-off, but before they get there, DJ Howell's going to be honored here in just a moment. And DJ Howell has reached a great accomplishment, that 1,000-point club. That's a rare club, Greg. It's not easy to get there.
Absolutely. DJ, been starting since he was a freshman. And the thing that I've always talked about that I like about him is he's never really played like a freshman. Even when he was 14 years old in the starting lineup, he didn't act like it. And it's just he's got a mature game, and he's grown a little bit each year. He never plays outside of himself. He always plays within the structure. He's an ultimate team-first point guard, and he's going to go down, especially if he can get to another state championship and maybe help this team win the first gold ball since 1997. He would have been a part of 3 state tournament teams, including a runner-up and a semifinal, and then potentially even more than that this year. So a special player with a special honor.
So we are done with our warm-ups. The players taking their places on the bench, getting set to announce the starting lineups. And Broken Arrow Lime out there to high-five as well. Always a good tradition to see the youth teams get out there and get a close-up look of these Tigers, both the boys and the girls' side of the coin.
Basketball game between the Northwest Classen Knights and your Broken Arrow Tigers. Now for the starting lineup, the Northwest Classen Knights, coached by Jonathan Bates. At 4 to 6-3.
All right, before we get into the game, Coach Wallace here with me. And tonight is a good game, but you've got to go back, and you guys got a couple of good wins in that Shawnee tournament, came away with the victory of the tournament overall. Take me through those 3 games and what you thought.
Well, it was kind of a festival just because the tournament didn't really make. So our first game was Choctaw right out of the bat. And it was one of those things that you go into it and you're just like, this is a tough game to start off in a tournament. And they were down some people, but overall I thought we did a decent job, especially in the second half, of kind of taking care of that. We played Southeast, which they're not having a great year right now. They've always played us really well the second game, so we got one of those games kind of out of the way, and then we turned around and played El Reno, which was undefeated. Probably if we had rankings would be number 1 in 5A or 1A with them and Booker T or somebody. But really good team, solid team, and so just proud of how our guys kind of performed this weekend, even though it wasn't a traditional tournament, something they're used to kind of find a way to do that.
You said defense is going to be a little bit of a key for you tonight, going up against Northwest Classen. You kind of want to fix some things from the last time out, fix some things from the Shawnee tournament, and then go into this one trying to get a win, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the key is we've got to stop penetration. We can't let guys just get to the rim and get to the paint and create offense for other people. And so that was one of the things that we didn't do as well as I thought we would do this weekend. But that's one of the things we've been kind of honing in on this week when we didn't have a game Tuesday, to kind of work on those little things to hopefully be better tonight.
Another big game on the docket. Live here on ArrowVision. Tips off here in just a moment.
And there it is, DJ Howell out on the floor with Coach Wallace and Coach King. 1,000-point club member. And he has had an incredible career here already, and still a few games left to finish things out, and hopefully finishing things out with a gold ball and not just that 1,000-point ball.
And that's a really cool graphic, or a banner that Logan Hawk created for him as well. Very, very cool stuff.
And we get set for the starting lineups now. It's the usual 5 for Broken Arrow. Devon Wallace, number 1. It's a start at guard, 6'2". Number 2 is Anton Wallace, 6'2" guard. Number 5 is J.D. Talley, a 6'6" forward. Number 21, DJ Howell, senior 6'5" guard. And number 33, Logan Shockley, a senior 6'6" forward. And Greg, one thing that this team has is so much strength in its starting 5. And it's such a good core that these guys work as a unit, but at the same time, any one of them is eligible to go for a 20-point night.
Yeah, just a lot of experience, a lot of versatility. Guys have been playing together for not just 2, 3, 4 years at the varsity level, but from the time they were young as well. And it shows. That's why they're 17-1. That's why they're undefeated in district, undefeated in the state of Oklahoma, and really just about as good as any team in the state. And that's the kind of thing that you're going to see tonight. And when you're playing against another team, and we kind of dealt with this in the the Bartlesville game, where you beat somebody bad one time and you know you're going to play another time. Can you continue that? And really, it's all about every game with Broken Arrow. You know, whether you're going to play a team that you're quote unquote favored by 10 or 5, or favored by a bunch. In this case, you got to go just take care of yourself and do the little things and execute what you're trying to do.
I'd call that a Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation key to the game, Greg.
Absolutely.
Scoreline 0-0, less than 8 minutes to go now as we have started things out.
And we may
Classen.
have somebody playing some stall ball tonight, so see what the Tigers do defensively as Classen looks to check our patience of a lack of a shot clock, apparently.
Northwest Classen starting 5, Jalen Lopez, a junior forward, 6'3", wears number 5. Number 11 with the ball in his hands right now is Brandon Butler, a senior guard, 5'8". Number 15, Chris Collins, a junior guard, 5'11". Number 21, Devin Wilkinson, senior forward, 6 feet tall. And number 22 is Tyquavius Williams, a sophomore center at 6'5".
Well, we successfully wasted 50 seconds for no apparent reason, and here we go.
So now the game begins 50 seconds later. We've seen teams try this strategy before. Sand Springs did it to Broken Arrow as well as Bartlesville. Sand Springs game was the only one that Broken Arrow scored less than 50. Ball into the corner. Anton Wallace fakes, drives, floats. Can't get it to go, but he's fouled.
It's always interesting when you see that kind of thing happen. What is the opposing coach, in this case Coach Wallace, what do you kind of wait to see? And in that case, it was almost like he was like, all right, here we go. It had a little bit of time before he decided, all right, let's go get him. So
Tigers, I'm sure, not in a major hurry tonight. They beat Northwest Classen in their first meeting on December 10th, 84-53. Second free throw falls. Free throws tonight are brought to you by First National Bank. Quick pull up from the mid-range is good for 2. It's Brandon Butler.
Butler's taking both shots here early on. Nice little lefty jump shot and turnover on the other end, Dylan.
Double dribble on Logan Shockley. And a 2-1 advantage for Northwest Classen in the early going.
Last time we saw Logan Shockley here on this court, he put up, what did we decide, 19 in the fourth quarter?
19 fourth quarter points, 32 points overall.
Which was the most in any one quarter of play for Broken Arrow in a couple of years when Corbin Dow's brother, now at Oklahoma State,
Connor Dow
put up 19.
Ball goes out of play. Referees have a short nod of the head for each other and get ready to check the ball in. Directing traffic from the baseline, it's Brandon Butler. Howell got a hand in there, but it goes right back to Northwest Classen. Step back for Butler. A long, high arcing 3 is short of the rim. Devon Wallace kicks it up ahead. Anton Wallace saved. Skip pass, long pass, and Talley's reverse layup's no good, but he will go to the charity stripe.
A little bit of a sloppy possession there by Broken Arrow, but luckily on that pass, Talley was able to kind of get a hold of it and draw the foul.
J.D. Talley is a talented player on both ends of the floor. Team's leading shot blocker. Also averages double-digit points for Broken Arrow. A guy you can lean on both when your defense needs him and when you need a bucket. Both free throws good. 3-2 advantage now for BA. Tigers are turning up that defensive intensity. Ball inside and the finish inside from number 22, Tyquavius Williams. Pass mishandled by Talley. Butler pushing the pace again to Williams. Stripped away by Shockley.
Shockley probably got away with a foul there. It looked like he got him on the hand. So if you're Classen successfully, you've kind of lulled Broken Arrow to sleep over that 50-second little way the game started, and now you're kind of playing toe-to-toe with them here early on. Tigers got to wake up.
Butler kicks it to Williams. Talley gets up, gets a hand on it, but he also fouls Williams. This Northwest Classen team comes in 7-10, 2-7 in district. They beat both Sapulpa and Bartlesville. Beat Sapulpa by 14, beat Bartlesville by a whopping 31 points.
Just for some context and some common opponents, Classen has played Jinx before, 60-47, so that, they played them a little bit close. They actually beat Sapulpa by 14 earlier in the year, so even though the Tigers had a big victory the first time, they are a capable team of playing us a lot closer tonight if we don't get off to a better start.
DJ Howell on the perimeter. Swung over to Anton Wallace. Defender was off balance, and Wallace is right on the money.
Nice little sidestep on the three, pull up by Anton, who just continues to become a better shooter here in his senior year.
Here's a three-point attempt from Northwest Classen. It's off the mark for the Knights, and a rebound for Anton Wallace.
Like the way he blocked out there, looking to kick it in transition, see if he rewards himself.
Tries another triple. Anton rattles it in, and it's 9-5. Broken Arrow in front. Northwest Classen needs a timeout.
Nice little 6-0 personal mini run by Anton Wallace. Did a good job hitting the three on one end, came back, had a nice defensive possession, blocked out well, kicked it ahead, and like I said, he repositioned himself, had his hands ready. As you see on the replay, ball reversed by his cousin, knocks down the triple, and it's 9-5 Broken Arrow.
Looks like it was just done in the driveway maybe a couple of nights ago.
They played together a few times over the years.
Tigers in front right now. The last time they were out on the floor was against El Reno. 55-46 win in the Shawnee tournament. El Reno was undefeated going into that game. You could argue they're the #1 team in 5A.
Yeah.
And Broken Arrow able to get a big victory there, win that Shawnee tournament.
Also had a good win over Choctaw. It was a round-robin tournament format. But, yeah, really impressive showing by the Tigers on the road in Shawnee.
Continuing to build some momentum and keep the perfect record in Oklahoma alive.
It's got to eat at those kids a little bit to know that they have one loss on the season to an out-of-state school by 1 point.
Game against St. John's, a school from Houston, Texas, in that San Diego tournament just after Christmas.
Another
Nice
solid
moves.
possession there by Northwest Classen to pull back within two.
Nice moves by Howell and a foul on the perimeter. And it'll be checked in by DJ Howell. Feed inside to Talley, right underneath the basket, and he's able to get it to go for two. Cross-court pass. Ball with Devin Wilkinson. Fakes right, drives left. Ball deflected by Talley. Butler thought about it, kicked it over to his teammate. Wing three rolls off. And a rebound for Devon Wallace, and he's tripped. A foul against Devin Wilkinson.
Come our first subs of the night.
Gene Mason and Corbin Dow, as well as Nigel Noyes now out on the floor.
Yeah. always the first 3 guys off the bench when the Tigers are healthy. Pretty much a strong 8-man rotation for Bo Wallace and company this year, with some smattering of minutes here and there from other guys.
Gene Mason driving inside, trying to find some room, kicks it out to Anton Wallace, and he's on fire! 4-point play opportunity for Anton Wallace.
Just like we said, Dylan, a couple minutes ago, Anton's really improved that three-point stroke from outside this year, and he just has a he got a little bit of a slow release, but it's interesting. His shot is interesting, the way he gets it off, and it looks like it's slow, but he always gets it off.
Missed that free throw, but an offensive board by Corbin Dow keeps it alive for Broken Arrow.
Try
He'll
again.
try another one. That one's offline. Another offensive board. Noise inside. He gets the layup.
Like I always talk about, Nija coming in ready to shoot and is in the right place at the right time there with the offensive putback.
Now Broken Arrow starting to build a lead, 16-7. 3-point attempt from Wilkinson. He's got it.
Tally a little bit late on the rotation there, as Classen did a nice job working the press and getting a good look. Tally, his Noise quickly answers there. Tally did a nice job contesting it, but I think Coach Wallace would have liked him to get there about a second earlier.
Noise stepped into a long mid-range shot, and it was nothing but net. Drive inside, no call, no foul on Dow or the attacker. But a foul now goes against Nija Noise. So Tyquavius Williams is at the free throw line. Hits all parts of the rim and gets it to go. Free throws tonight brought to you by First National Bank. DJ Howell and Logan Shockley subbing back in, taking the place of J.D. Talley and Anton Wallace. Anton all smiles as he comes back and gets high fives from his teammates. Feeling good right now.
Yeah, now you've successfully given all 5 of the starters at least some breather going into the second quarter, as DJ and Shockley come back in after a quick breather.
Minute and a half left in the first quarter. Dow feeds inside to Howell. Double team comes. Fed to Noise. Great feed by Howell.
Yeah, good possession there by Broken Arrow. They were trying to get it down low inside to DJ as Shockley gets the block. But good defense on both ends of the floor by both teams.
I think a little assist defensively to Corbin Dow as well. Mason gets across the timeline, but he is bobbling the ball. Finally slows the pace down. And a 5 seconds closely guarded. Or no, they'll call a timeout first. Coach Wallace upset with Gene Mason.
Got a little discombobulated there on offense for a little bit. Got to settle down and get into something.
Gene Mason still young, but continues to impress the coaching staff. He's a sophomore. Just came in from Victory Christian, his first season here at Broken Arrow. And they have high hopes for him and what he can do for this Tiger team moving forward.
Great experience for him this year, being one of those first guys off the bench, especially knowing what's going to be asked of him in the future with graduating so many of these core seniors.
Broken Arrow coming in tonight on an 8-game win streak. Staying red hot.
See what BA looks to run out of the timeout. So often they're really good at executing set plays out of timeouts.
Noise from above the free throw line. He's off the mark. Now Butler, check the clock. Gives it off to Wilkinson. Inside Williams. And a rebound for Shockley. Shockley taking it himself. Coast to coast. Feeds it off to Dow. Now Dow drives inside. Outside it's Mason for 3. And it's off target. Into the corner, Butler fakes, drives, right-handed layup, is good off the window.
Been a good first quarter for Butler and kind of the main cog in the offense for the Knights.
Howell drives in, fouled and good.
That's going to be 1,002 points on his career as he gets his first bucket of the night.
And he will go to the free throw line to make it a 3-point play. Subbing in for Northwest Classen is Xavier Collins. And Howell good. Make it a 21-14 ball game at the end of the first quarter. The Tigers in front by 7. Been a good quarter of basketball for Broken Arrow. Still a lot more to come. 3 quarters left to play. Broken Arrow in front, live here on ArrowVision.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Welcome back to the Tiger Fieldhouse. Broken Arrow in front, 21-14 over Northwest Classen. Madison Dildine was listening in to Coach Wallace as he gave some instructions to his guys. What did he have to say?
He said, hey, listen, we are not doing very well off the rotations, which I know, Greg, you already mentioned on the broadcast, but he said, listen, they're getting too many easy buckets, and they have way too many points right now. Dylan?
All right, Madison, thank you. 21-14, the Tigers looking to step up defensively and try to slow down these Knights. Up top, Logan Shockley. Shockley has yet to record a point after a 32-point night we mentioned earlier, the last time he was here in this gym. Dow drives inside, left-hand layup is good.
Good drive there by Corbin Dow, going to his left, finishing with his left, kind of got around the defense there and went up strong, and Tigers have a 9-point lead.
And now Dow having to step up defensively and try to slow down these Knights. Shot blocked by Dow and then fouled.
Always like when you see a guy do something good on one end and come back and do something good on the other end. Good things happen when you play well on both ends of the floor.
Corbin Dow's probably spent much of his childhood trying to guard his older brother, so I'm sure he's seen a lot of those moves before. Howell turns, feeds it to Mason, and an easy layup for 2. That's about as easy as it gets.
Well, that's a senior point guard there with DJ setting up that play to perfection, where you kind of fake the back door one way and go the other way as Butler answers again.
Howell, outlet pass to Noyes. He drives inside, and he'll have an easy finish. Doesn't feel like that interior defense from the Knights is very strong if you can get to the rim.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of size. 22's got some size on him, but he's not down there blocking any shots. So Broken Arrow needs to be a little bit more aggressive getting into the paint.
Jumper no good for Butler, and it goes out of play off of Xavier Collins.
Mason was fortunate there, didn't get a body on the shot for the block out. Knight snuck in there and had a chance at a rebound, but lost it out of bounds.
Devin Wallace and Anton Wallace at the scorer's table, set to check in. Ball swung around, now Shockley down on the block, right-handed post flick shot, off back iron. Call a kick ball against DJ Howell. It'll be a sideline out of bounds now for Northwest Classen. Noyes and Mason sub off. (27-16). About 5:45 left in this second quarter. Butler again drives. Butler again finishes. Left-hand layup through the contact, and he goes to the free throw line to make it a three-point play.
Well, we had this problem, I think, in the last game with one of their better players being left-handed and giving up a lot of points to him. So talk about it again, where so often if you are a good, especially left-handed guard, if you're a good left-handed guard, the advantages that has for you, as much as it's in the scouting report and they probably hammered it over and practiced throughout the week, it's still a different way to guard somebody.
Shockley up top. Thought about the three. Drives inside. And a foul.
And Logan finding things a little bit harder this evening. I'm sure he was a key part of the Classen scouting report coming off that big game.
Lob pass to Dow, and he couldn't finish it. It was a tough shot, kind of catching it over his shoulder and trying to turn and shoot it. Butler steps back, fires a three, front rim, and it just barely grazed it. Foul down low, and it goes against Xavier Collins. Dow subs off, and JD tallies it. Devon Wallace across the timeline. Now Shockley, a couple of pounding dribbles, fake, fed back out. Howell drives in, a scoop shot is good off the glass. Ten-point lead for Broken Arrow. Butler tries a long three-pointer, almost got the shooter's bounce. Couldn't get it. Tigers in a zone defense. Wilkinson will try one, and he's off. Rebound Wallace. Now Howell on the breakaway. Nice Euro step, but can't get the finish. And it goes out off of BA.
DJ's got to take that up a little bit more aggressively. He tried to nonchalant it just a little bit there, and, you know, yes, there was a Euro step, but he also could have taken off a little bit more powerful and finished strong. And I think that's probably what he's going to be told as he comes to get a breather on the bench for a couple minutes.
So the five on the floor for the Tigers: Devon Wallace, Nigel Noyes, J.D. Talley, Gene Mason, and Anton Wallace. Long three-pointer, won't go, and a rebound for Mason. Pressure on from the Knights. Now the Tigers have numbers. Into the corner, Talley will try a three. Can't get it. Wilkinson pushes it into the front court for the Knights, and then they'll slow things back down. Butler fires a wild pass. And the Tigers will take over.
I'm sure he saw something in his head that looked better than the result of it.
Still that 10-point lead for Broken Arrow. Driving in Talley. Can't get the shot to drop. Coach Wallace wanted a foul.
Well, you know, you mentioned earlier that, you know, not a lot of guys protecting the rim for Northwest Classen, but really got to give some props here in the last few minutes to Williams.
Talley gets the and one opportunity right underneath the basket, wide open, uncontested, and had to make a late rotation. He goes to the free throw line.
Williams has done a nice job really guarding both Shockley and Talley a little bit. 6'5" sophomore for Northwest Classen.
So Talley at the First National Bank free throw line. Can't get the free throw to go. Ball loosely dribbled up the floor, loosely passed over to Butler. And they slow things down, reset it. Wilkinson in the corner, guarded by Devon Wallace. Nowhere for Williams to go, and a timeout by Northwest Classen. That offensive possession for the Knights just felt discombobulated from the start. And it'll be a full timeout, so we'll take one as well and come right back here on ArrowVision with more of Broken Arrow basketball.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Back here live inside the Tiger Field House, the Tigers with a 12-point advantage. Quick timeout from Northwest Classen, and Coach Wallace catching up with his guys. Madison Dildine was down there. Madison, what did he say?
There was a lot of emphasis on communication and lack thereof in that second half right now. He was saying we have to continue to attack them offensively and make them have to guard us. We have to get a stop. Dylan?
All right, Madison, a good contest from Talley there to keep Williams from getting the easy layup. And now Talley with a long two rattles out. Butler feeds it to Lopez, fakes the three, sidesteps. Long cross-court pass, nearly taken away by Broken Arrow. They're going to have to rotate. Butler travels. And another turnover for the Knights.
Well, and that's where it's going to start for Broken Arrow to kind of get into a better rhythm. Doesn't feel like they're playing great offensively, but a lot of that has to do with they're not getting as much transition opportunities as you'd like. You got 31 points with a little bit about over 2 minutes till halftime, so it's not like you're doing poor offensively. I just think Coach Wallace would like a better defensive effort as his son there answers with two to make it 33-19.
Great drive into traffic, and those layups right square in front of the hoop, sometimes they get tricky, don't they?
Yeah, little angles can be a problem.
14-point advantage. Ball deflected by Devon Wallace.
Want to stick around at halftime. We'll have a performance by the Tigers. We'll take a few commercials. Then we're going to come back. We're going to have a special guest in the second half. We've got BA's Director of Percussion, Adam Winkin, coming on to join the show tonight. Not only is he going to talk about the event we have tomorrow, but the indoor percussion season, and we're going to let him join us in the second half a little bit to fulfill his dream of being a color analyst.
I'm sure it'll be lots of fun. I won't mention anything about his Chicago Bulls either.
He'll talk Cubs with you, maybe the Bears draft pick.
Ball outside with Wilkinson. Into the corner, Butler. He's not afraid to fire, not afraid to dribble between four white jerseys either. Lopez, Wilkinson, swinging around the perimeter, and Butler will try one from another area code, and he gets it to go.
An impressive first half by Butler, looking like a left-handed Trae Young on that shot.
Ball on the floor, stolen away by the Knights, so now Butler fast breaking. On the left-hand side of the bucket, can't get the layup. Great job by Gene Mason defensively and the rebound. And a foul.
Tigers fortunate that they don't get the foul call here against Butler. Instead, they're going to go the other end, so it could have been Butler at the line with a chance to cut it back into single digits. Instead, Mason's got a chance to extend the lead back to 12 or 13.
Won't get the first free throw. Again, free throws tonight brought to you by First National Bank. Our halftime show here just a few moments away is brought to you by St. Francis. If you missed the girls' game, you can go back and watch that one here on ArrowVision. And certainly if you are a fan of Broken Arrow scoring lots of points,
And not giving up many.
That's the one to watch. 75-7 the final there. Lady Tigers cruising to victory, and they are guns a-blazing going into that Edmond North game next Tuesday. Of course, these Broken Arrow boys basketball Tigers out there on the floor right now have Edmond North on the schedule as well. That one an 8 p.m. start. Those are games on the road. The Siberian Gym, not an easy place to get a victory. I know both the boys and girls squads are looking ahead to that one and trying to prep for a tough team. Ball in traffic, it's rolling around. Everybody's getting a hand on it. Butler tries a floater right before the buzzer, and it hits all parts of the rim, but he can't buy it. 34-22, the halftime score. Broken Arrow up by 12. And it's been just about the exact first half that you and I probably would have thought of. The Tigers off to a good start, maybe a little bit cleaner is what we might have had in mind, though.
Yeah, just a little bit sloppy, but we'll let Coach Wallace talk about it right here with Madison.
Coach, what are you going to emphasize in the locker room at halftime?
I thought we got them in foul trouble, and then we didn't attack them in transition, and I thought we got to do a better job of that moving forward.
Very simple. Quick message before he goes and talks to his players down there in the locker room. And obviously he's got to be content but not happy.
Yeah, I think he's probably not going to be quite as pleasant in the locker room speech. You know, it's like I said, he didn't play bad offensively other than the lack of transition opportunities. But defensively, you got to pick it up. They're getting a little bit more clean looks than you'd like to get. As we've got the Broken Arrow Tigettes getting ready to perform here. They're going to be going to nationals here in a couple weeks. So we'll turn the attention to that, and we'll be back here with you in a little bit.
We are excited to present the varsity Tigettes under the direction of head coach Greg Dennis and assistant coach Aubrey Weatherford. Keep ready for an incredible performance from this talented team. Let's show them some love as they take the court. Let's hear it one more time, your varsity Tigers. Varsity Tigers are preparing for Dance Team Union Nationals next week. Let's make sure to go cheer them on.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat, and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. All within the QT app. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
We're back here live on ArrowVision. It's halftime. The Tigers up 34-22. We've still got 5 minutes of this halftime break, so we're going to use it wisely. Dylan Rivera, Greg Spencer, and Adam Winkin is joining us, percussion specialist here at Broken Arrow. And Adam, first we got to start about tomorrow's performances that you guys are doing at the event center. Tell us all about that and what's going on.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me with you guys tonight. We're excited. Tomorrow is our kickoff of our season going into the 2025 competitive season for indoor percussion, as well as the beginning of our season for the Winter Guard, both at the high school and at the middle school. So tomorrow at the event center, starting at 10 a.m., our Broken Arrow Middle School Winter Guard will take the floor, and there's performances essentially all the way until 8:30 p.m. Broken Arrow Indoor Percussion will perform at 3:40, and the high school Winter Guard will perform at 7:24 p.m.
So for somebody sitting at home that doesn't understand what those are in comparison with marching band, which they're very familiar with, talk a little bit about what those are in comparison.
Yeah, so essentially the Winter Guards, essentially if you take the color guard out from the Pride, all the flags and rifles and sabers, put them in a gym and make a show out of it, that's essentially what the Winter Guard is, to complete custom soundtracks, custom floors, custom costuming. And then indoor percussion is the same thing, but you just take the front ensemble, the front grounded percussion, and the drum line, combine them and customize a show that's only using those instruments. So that's kind of more specialized towards those two sections of the Pride.
Yeah, and so if you're somebody from around town that's seen a Pride performance at halftime, the indoor percussion is pretty similar to that, but few things eliminated and shrunken down to a gym floor, but it's a very similar feel as far as performances go. Talk a little bit about kind of how your season goes and how long it lasts and what the end goal is for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, so our season for indoor percussion typically kicks off right after our fall marching band season, and honestly, they kind of dovetail into each other. But roughly mid to late November, we audition for the ensemble. We get going right away. We start learning the new program, and we start competing essentially in February. And that's going to culminate all the way until mid to late April at the WGI World Championships in Dayton, Ohio. WGI is our national circuit that we compete in. We've made world-class finals the last 3 years. It's always a goal at the end of the season to be in finals, but honestly, we're just trying to be better every single year, continue to raise the expectations, build the culture, so getting better year by year, but also 4 to 5 years being even stronger as a program.
Absolutely.
We got our drummers on the TV screen right now. I'm
That's
watching
right.
them. Are you in teacher mode right now when you're watching them play?
Well, I'm trying to keep my eyes off of the screen right now because I probably could just critique them a little bit. No, but they're fantastic students. So yeah, I mean, but it's also important that everything that we do, whether it's supporting the football team, supporting the basketball team, we have different roles within our band program. And tonight, we're here to support the Tigers, support the basketball team. So things are different depending upon the different things that we're doing. And our kids understand that as well.
So are any of these kids also involved in indoor percussion, or are they mostly just in the marching band and then this is what they choose to do this time of year?
Most of them, I think all but one, are all in the indoor percussion group.
Oh, very cool. So they're keeping busy no matter what.
Yes, sir. So we finished rehearsal at 6 o'clock. They wrapped some things up, maybe ate a granola bar, a bottle of water, and came over here to support the Tigers.
And you wouldn't know it because they don't lack any energy.
That's right.
Well, let's talk basketball now. 34-22 halftime lead for Broken Arrow. Tigers beat Northwest Classen earlier this season, 84-53. They feel like they're on pace for another victory, but maybe not in quite that dominant fashion. Feels like this Northwest Classen team came out ready to play today, and they've forced some turnovers and forced Broken Arrow into some spots they don't want to be in.
Yeah, they really did. Obviously, we kind of came out and they held the ball for about 50 seconds to start the game, which, you wouldn't like to think that took too much out of the Tigers, but it maybe lulled them to sleep just enough to take their foot off the gas and not be as ready to play as you'd like. Adam, you are well studied in basketball, being a guy that went to the University of Indiana. Hoosiers playing tonight, a big game at all?
Yes, sir. They're up 4 at the half at Purdue.
Are you going to be able to concentrate here in this second half?
Oh, I'm in. I'm in for the Tigers tonight.
So what do you think the Tigers need to do here in the second half to play better?
What I was going to say is, it's easy to play a strong half. It's a whole different ball game in the second half. So we'll see if Northwest Classen can come out just as hot, keep the defensive up. But Broken Arrow is, it's tough to beat in 40 minutes, 2 halves. So it's going to be tough, but I think the Tigers are going to be coming out nice and strong in the second half.
That sounds like a halftime key, maybe brought to you by Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation. Our halftime show brought to you by St. Francis. 8 minutes on the clock. Both teams back out on the floor. It's the usual starting 5 for the Tigers, and it looks like the same starting 5 for Northwest Classen as well.
It'll be interesting to see kind of defensive strategy, if any changes made in terms of getting the ball out of Butler's hands, as he was the most effective guy for the Knights in the first half. And so far, he's back to right attacking.
Blocked away by Talley. 12 points in that first half for Butler. Can't get those there because Talley's in the way. Wallace sidesteps a defender on his way to 2. 36-22, the Tigers jump out to an early 2-point advantage here in this second half.
Good defensive effort on the 2 block attempts by Talley, and Devon answers on the other end with 2.
Lopez on the perimeter. Wallace was there helping out and gets back up top with Wilkinson. Trying to find Butler, and they do. Free throw line jumper contested by Talley, but it's still good. Ball flung over to Shockley in the corner, and he rattles one out.
Now Shockley coming off the career game here last time he was here. Still unable to find his first points of the night tonight. And that would be a big part of a second half surge if they can get him going.
You can tell Broken Arrow wants to push the pace here.
Quick outlet pass from Howell. Anton Wallace mishandles it, but feeds it off to Shockley. He can't buy the bucket, but a foul underneath.
Well, and he's going to get what he needs right now. Going to the line, hopefully he can put some points on the night. But like Adam said, I'm sure Coach Wallace was really emphasizing transition at halftime, and that's what we're seeing here early on.
Mentioned earlier in this game, the 1,000-point club now includes DJ Howell. And he is not only a very proficient scorer, he is an extremely talented passer, and you saw it there on that outlet pass, able to find Anton Wallace. And he had a couple of games this season with double-digit assists, and he is not even the primary ball handler for Broken Arrow, so it's impressive what he's able to do.
It's kind of a 3-headed monster when it comes to point guards, and then there's some guys off the bench that handle it. He really actually was more of a primary point guard only his first 2 years, and since then with the evolution of Anton and Devon getting more and more minutes and being in the starting lineup, he's taken off the ball a little more than he has in years past.
Still in that zone defense for Broken Arrow. Patience offensively for Northwest Classen. Wilkinson will pull up from way outside, and he's got it.
Number 21, Devin Wilkinson for 3.
Tigers looking to respond quickly. Anton thinks about a 3, drives inside, kicks out Shockley. Now Shockley into the lane. Left-hand layup. That's a great move from Logan Shockley down low.
Nice job there on the spin by Shockley. Got on the board with some free throws. Answers on the other end with his first field goal of the night.
Shot way off for Northwest Classen. Logan Shockley's checking for blood, making sure he didn't get hit too hard in the face there.
Got the replay there of Shockley's move, the up and under, the scoop and the deuce.
Howell speeds past one, drives into the lane, gets a shot up, and a charge.
Good job there by DJ weaving through the defense, but unfortunately he left his feet a little bit too early, and Williams was there waiting for him. DJ's got to find a way to anticipate that, maybe take one more power dribble, get over to the other side of the basket, and go up strong.
Wilkinson will try another three, and he's got it again. 2 for 2 from outside here in this third quarter for Wilkinson.
Well, Adam, so far we really haven't seen some of the adjustments we were hoping to see out of the Tigers on the defensive end.
I'll be curious to see if they move off of the zone here with him getting hot from outside. That's the way you can break the zone.
Howell makes a good move, kicks outside, Talley for three, and he's way off. Rebound Lopez, pushing the pace. Stolen from behind by Logan Shockley. Weaves between defenders. He's got Howell running with him. He'll rise up and finish on his own.
Coast to coast.
So Logan Shockley starting to wake up here in this third quarter. He's got 6 points just in this first 3.5 minutes.
Broken Arrow just being a little too relaxed defensively on some of the ball pressure. I'd like to see him find ways to get the ball out of Butler's hands a little bit more. I think if you get it out of his hands and put them in bad spots, they will take bad shots.
As Adam mentioned, looks like they've switched out of that zone defense. Butler on the baseline, couple of ball fakes,
I think if
back out.
They put more pressure on them, they're going to start creating turnovers. Just kind of letting them dribble.
Contested three for Collins. Can't get it to go. Long rebound was a battle, and it goes the Tigers' way. Logan Shockley checks out, and Corbin Dow is in.
I think Logan's probably coming out as much to maybe stop a little bleeding I think he might have got on that foul earlier.
Howell hands off to Wallace. A lot of quick movement up top, and then the ball turned over to Northwest Classen, and Wilkinson will try a third one, and that one is also way off.
A little careless on that pass as Broken Arrow, a little dribble weave up top by DJ, but then on the other end, a little careless shot selection gives the Tigers a get-out-of-jail-free card with that poor possession on one end and the other.
Talley gets a screen from Devon Wallace. He rises up and just barely gets it to go. That'll be an and one dunk on the score sheet, but it didn't quite look like one, did it?
He went up like he was going to get a serious and one. The foul kept him from finishing, but the ball went in, Adam.
Love how aggressive Broken Arrow is going to the basket. You know, they've had a pretty good shot selection so far, so love how they're just being aggressive and going right at Northwest Classen.
Well, we mentioned this in the first half. The interior presence defensively for Northwest Classen doesn't feel terribly slick.
Man with Williams.
Something that Broken Arrow can really take advantage of if they just get into the lane.
If that goal had been a foot shorter, I think we would have got the serious and one, but it's a little bit out of his reach there once he took the body contact.
Or even if he had just jumped maybe 2 inches higher. Butler drives in, barely finds the rim. Nice job defensively by Talley. Now Dow across the timeline has Devon Wallace trailing. He'll kick it to him for three, and it's in and out.
Good transition there. I like the unselfish play. Good job by Wallace trailing and being ready to shoot.
Lopez gets an offensive board. Williams, mid-range shot, will fall. And Tyquavius Williams has 9 now.
And he's had a nice game. Like I said, he's been the one guy as Wallace turns it over on the other end.
Butler measuring up his steps. Gene Mason called for a foul.
Yeah, and that's a sophomore mistake there by Mason. As you saw the awkwardness that Butler went up with the lack, kind of the, usually you got guys that struggle with the left-hand layup, but that time the left-handed guy struggled with the right-hand layup, but unfortunately Mason hip-checked him, and now he's at the line.
First free throw good. Free throws brought to you by First National Bank.
Adam, how are your left-hand layups?
I used to try to practice my left hands way more than my right, so after a while I was more comfortable going to my left. Didn't always get down through the hoop, though. Just going to say, Classen seems to like to pull up from 10 to 15 feet. They're not real comfortable getting to the basket.
Noise into the lane, spinning by Butler. He got defenders draped all over him, and he still gets the finish.
Great handling on the basket.
Speaking of getting to the basket.
46-34, Tigers in front.
Knights just kind of keep hanging around. Tigers only with a 12-point lead, and we're almost to the fourth quarter.
Brandon Butler on the perimeter. He's got a great quick first step and a great crossover move to go with it.
They're going to be hesitant to go with down low.
Wilkinson drives between defenders, kicks out to Lopez. And he slows the possession down. Gene Mason able to contest, but he fouls Jalen Lopez. That's the second foul on Gene Mason.
Number 5, Jalen Lopez, the line, shooting 2.
Northwest Classen came in off a 86-67 loss to Piedmont. Their last win over a varsity opponent was against Bartlesville on January 14th. They're 1-5 since then and have only beaten Moore's JV squad. But obviously keeping things at least somewhat interesting here with BA. Howell spins into the lane, has his shot just stolen away. And he goes out of play, but a great job defensively by Xavier Collins.
Yeah, impressive effort there. He did everything right but land in bounds.
Noise into Howell. Now back into Noise. Going right up against Wilkinson and a foul.
Don't think he agreed with that call.
Third personal foul, third team foul. Number 10, Nigel Williams to the line, shooting 2.
Noise already has 8 tonight. And make it 9. Tigers right now are the only team in 6A with fewer than 3 losses. They're one of 2 teams to be undefeated in district, the other the Owasso Rams. Butler with a step back and a long 2. Rebound with Noise.
Oh,
no. Nope.
Offensive foul on Noise.
That was brutal. I'm sorry. There's just no world exists where that was an offensive foul.
Coach
That's
Wallace,
either a foul on Northwest Classen or a no call.
Is absolutely livid with that call. Northwest Classen, of course, hopped to their feet, all smiles. I think they knew they got away with one. Wilkinson in the lane. Didn't even look like he was thinking about a shot until he did.
You see Coach Wallace wanted to pick up the pace. Definitely a second half game plan here.
Shockley with the hesitation and the drive, and it goes off of his leg. So it'll be Northwest Classen's basketball. .13 advantage for Broken Arrow, less than a minute to go.
Back to the zone, it looks like.
Dow comes in, gets a hand to it, but he's not quick enough to catch it. 37.4 on the clock. Wilkinson. Good move from Butler.
Classen definitely going to play for this last shot, it looks like.
Pressure coming. Ball stolen. Dow's got it in his possession, feeds it off to Noise, inside, an easy layup for 2.
And that's the problem with sometimes trying to play for the last shot, especially when you're losing.
Yes, sir.
You got to go attack, because sometimes you just end up turning it over.
Butler will try a long 3, contested, may have been blocked, and a full court attempt from Shockley's off the mark. 50-35, a 15-point advantage going into quarter number 4. The Tigers leading things here live on ArrowVision. Keep it right here for quarter number 4.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Broken Arrow in the driver's seat right now against Northwest Classen, 50-35. Madison Dildine was listening in to the coach's huddle. What did Coach Wallace say?
Hey, good job, you guys, with rebounding. We got to continue to pick it up and push in transition. Dylan.
All right, Madison. Adam Winken is here joining us in the booth. Greg Spencer alongside me. I'm Dylan Rivera. 8 minutes left to go, and Adam, we got to ask your opinion. How do the Tigers hold on to this lead?
They're going to keep pushing, and as long as Northwest Classen keeps settling for jump shots, I think Broken Arrow is going to be set up for a W here.
Well, in Broken Arrow, you want to finish strong right here. You haven't played great, but you're up 15. This is a game you want to go to the locker room having won by 25 or more if you're Coach Wallace.
Shockley will try a mid-range jumper, and it hits the front iron just a little bit short.
Love the half-court pressure here. Trying to force a turnover.
Lopez steps back, slows things down. Butler.
Excellent play.
Stolen by Mason. Fast break opportunity. Gets up and finishes the layup.
Good effort there by the sophomore. We've seen him have some lapses defensively. He's another steal tonight, but answers in a big way there, Dylan.
Howell evades a couple of defenders, feeds it up to Noyes. He'll drive baseline, go right into Williams. No finish. Offensive board, Mason. And a foul. Excellent effort defensively so far in this fourth for Broken Arrow.
Yeah, and that's where it starts. This is a team that is – every Coach Wallace team is one of the best defensive teams in all of 6A every year, but this is a team, especially this year, is
Mason completely unbothered. He wanted that ball in the corner. He got it, and he knocked it down for an Arrow Group three-pointer.
Nice job there by Gene answering, and he's having a good start to this fourth quarter as the Tigers get more deflections.
That was almost a third straight turnover on 3 possessions to start this fourth quarter.
Major pickup in defensive intensity, and the Tigers look like a team possessed right now. There's a replay of the Gene Mason triple.
My goodness.
Nearly lost it again. Northwest Classen finally gets a shot up, and it's Wilkinson from the mid-range. Gets it to go over the hand of Shockley.
Makes him the second Knight in double figures on the night.
Mason feeds it to Howell. Dow was cutting back door. Howell's late getting it there, but it still finds its marker, and Dow gets the finish.
And like Adam said, Broken Arrow, anytime they get the ball down low, there's just no rim protection unless 22's down there. And speaking of 22.
Williams knocks down the mid-range jumper, 57-39 now, and Williams has 11 points. Howell drives inside, and a beautiful left-hand finish from DJ Howell.
It's too easy for Broken Arrow getting to the basket without really any kind of defensive pressure.
Lopez tried to get by Dow, and a great hand
Excellent
defensively. Effort. And now up ahead, Noyes able to rise up and finish.
Good sequence there by the Tigers on both ends, as DJ especially. Nice effort defensively, leads to the outlet pass. I'm not sure Nija ever got across half court, but he was in the right place for that layup.
And a timeout called by Northwest Classen. It is a 22-point lead for Broken Arrow. We'll step aside for a quick timeout and come right back here live on ArrowVision.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. Tigers lead by 22 points. Broken Arrow has had just one single-digit game in their last 5. The Tigers have been cruising to victory game after game. They've made it look easy this season, and again tonight against Northwest Classen, they are doing the same. Greg Spencer and Adam Winkin here with me in the broadcast booth. Brandon Butler, drives inside, and he is fouled.
Well, they let him go left again. Now they're going to pay with 2 free throw attempts.
And you can see Coach Chris Wallace is shouting all the way across the floor about defending that left hand. The second foul against Devon Wallace. First free throw good.
And Butler's had a really good game. He's up to 17 now. He's been the highest scoring guy on both teams. Really made Northwest Classen go tonight and really kept him in the game.
Anton Wallace has 10 points, and he grabbed a lot of those early when he hit 2 3-pointers in that first quarter. Gone a little quiet since. Devon Wallace can't get the layup to drop. Now it's Lopez. Nobody looking at the ball. He stops and pops for 3, and it's off the mark. Mason fires it over to Dow. Now Anton Wallace. He'll pull up for 3. Can't get it to drop. Rebound Tally. And now the other way, the Knights. Quick floater over the top of Dow. Rattles out for Lopez. Now into the post. Corbin Dow. Little flick shot won't go.
And the problem with Broken Arrow offensively right now is you're getting decent shots in transition, but you're not making them, and then you're not really getting into that secondary and getting those better options.
Foul right around the midcourt line. We'll go against Tyquavius Williams. Tigers were on the verge of a fast break opportunity there. Dow had seen one of his teammates cutting back door and was just about to feed it. Devon Wallace pressured by Brandon Butler. Dow gives it off to the cutting Devon Wallace. Right-handed shot, contested, and off the mark. Lopez will try a 3. That one somehow finds its way home.
Yeah, that took an awkward bounce off kind of the back corner of the rim and fell in. Fortunate bounce, and now suddenly it's back to 17.
And Anton Wallace has all kinds of time and space from beyond the arc, and he drains it. An Arrow Group 3-pointer for Anton Wallace, and he's up to 13 now. 64-44, the Tigers in front by 20.
See the replay there as Anton steps into the shot and knocks it down for his 3rd 3 of the night.
If I was going to advise Northwest Classen not to leave one guy open from 3-point range, it would be Anton Wallace.
Yeah, especially tonight and here recently. It's just the shooting's gotten better and better, and that was kind of one of those unfortunate things defensively for them. The ball got kind of knocked around, and he was in the right spot.
I want a big shot from Broken Arrow because Classen came out of that last timeout, picking up the pace, picking up the shots, picking up the defensive pressure. That kind of stunted that, and we're back to a 20-point lead with 3.5 left to go.
Yeah, we had it at 22. They cut it back to 17. Now it's back to 20.
There in that third quarter, it was down to a 10-point lead for Broken Arrow. And they've been able to open it back up. And now just less than 3.5 to go to hold on for victory. Tigers again 17-1 right now. That would be an 18-1 record with a win. And keeping their undefeated record in district play. Anton feeds it to Devon Wallace. Noise outside, Tally unmarked inside, and that is easy like Sunday morning.
Better job there by Broken Arrow, forcing the issue, but staying patient and working until they got a good shot.
Butler leaps up into the air and feeds it off to Williams. Well done to adjust midair, and Williams got the finish. Noise going into the post against Butler, and he's got the shot to go. Butler looks a little gimpy. Driving in, going right at Talley's chest. Can't find the mark. Now Noyes driving. He's got, oh, wow. Physical challenge from Wilkinson. I was about to say he had Howell going with him, and then stood up by Wilkinson.
Yeah, and that's not a battle that Nigel's going to win very often. Wilkinson looks like he's got about 25, 30 pounds on him there.
I mean, he looked like he ran right into a door or something. Like it just stopped his momentum completely. Noyes under the basket, foul, and of course he will go to the First National Bank free throw line now.
And if you're Coach Wallace right now, you're sitting at 68-46. Before the quarter, I said you're up 15. You'd like to find a way to go to the locker room with a 25-point victory. So that is very much in play. But if we're looking at optics here, and I'm a coach, and you like the way certain numbers look on a scoreboard and a box score, if you can find a way to keep them under 50 and you get to 75 or so, that suddenly, 75-48 looks like a much bigger score than 69-42 or something.
Noyes gets that second free throw to go, and they are up to 70 now. Tigers still bringing pressure defensively. It's Wilkinson that drives inside, fades away, can't find the marker at all. And Shockley steps out of play. Wilkinson will try a quick three-pointer as he comes back in from the inbound pass. Lopez, the finish inside through contact, a foul on Noyes, and a chance for a three-point play.
Tigers not doing a good enough job there finding bodies to block out. Kind of see everybody's playing a little bit tired. This fourth quarter especially, the pace has been very hectic. Both ends of the court, guys just kind of taking the first shot on each ends of the court. A lot of action, frantic pace.
Rebound Noyes. Now it's Talley. And that ball just goes right into the hands of Wilkinson. Knights going the other way. Lopez will try a three now, and he's short. Williams, a little post hook. Good for two.
And there goes my keeping them under 50 thing.
Keep him at 50. Still got a minute.
I just like the way 40s look. Feel like you played a lot better defensively when you hold them under 40.
Talley gets the reverse layup, 72-50 now. Minute 15 to go. Anton Wallace gets his hands in defensively. Shockley able to go into the lane and finish for two more. Butler steps back, takes a highly contested three. Won't go. Anton Wallace over to DJ Howell. He'll try a three-pointer. It's off the line, but J.D. Talley gets the little tip in to go.
Well, we're at least above 25 now, the magical 25-point marker.
So time ticking away. Another three-point attempt from Butler. It's blocked by Anton Wallace. The outlet pass to Nigel Noyes. He's got Anton Wallace running with him. Fouled as he was driving into the rim. And he'll go to the free throw line. Noyes right now has 18 points. Has a chance to reach 20 tonight off the bench.
It's been an impressive night. Like I said, Nigel's a guy that is that instant impact offensive guy, and he's been able to make the most of every minute he's played tonight.
And I don't know that he's hit many outside shots. I think
No,
most of it has been right underneath the rim, either getting offensive boards or just driving in hard and getting to the free throw line.
Number 10, DeAntoine Johnson, checking in for the Knights.
Number 10, DeAntoine Johnson checks in for Northwest Classen. And the second free throw good for Nigel Noyes. Tyquavius Williams will try a long three-pointer, his first three-point attempt of the night. Talley gets it off to Howell, the outlet pass to Noyes, trying to get him to that 20-point marker. He's got 21.
Broken Arrow bench loves it.
Everybody hyped up for Nigel Noyes. 21 points off the bench, another 2 for Butler. And he'll close things out tonight with 20 of his own. 79-52 the final score. Broken Arrow coasts to yet another double-digit victory. And they move to 18-1 on the season, keeping that undefeated district record 9-0. Undefeated in the state of Oklahoma. The Tigers are cruising right now. Northwest Classen falls to 7-11, 2-8 in district play. This is now our Tulsa Bone and Joint post-game show, and Greg, I'll get to you in just a moment, but I want to make sure that Madison catches up with Coach Bo Wallace and gets his thoughts on what happened here tonight. Nigel Noyes might be our Big Biscuit player of the game. I think we can go ahead and award that to him. We'll have more on him here in just a moment, of course. But Coach Wallace down there on the floor, getting ready to catch up with our very own Madison Dildine.
Coach, what made the difference in the second half?
I think we just got stops. They held the ball starting off the game and just tried to slow it down. And I think our guys, as well as myself, probably a little frustrated, like, let's just play. But we finally settled in, and then we got probably 4 or 5 stops in a row and just kind of opened the game up.
Nigel ended with 21 points. What were your thoughts on his performance?
I thought he played well. That's why he played more minutes.
Thanks, Coach.
Good for him.
All right, 79-52 the final. And Coach Wallace certainly happy to get a big victory. Not so happy, head coach Jonathan Bates for Northwest Classen. He was livid, saying something to Coach King and Coach Humphreys on the sidelines. Didn't look like anything too serious unfolded. He is going back to his locker room now, but our Dr. Smith is down there and some discussions being had. Certainly a good night for Broken Arrow, and certainly a good night for Nigel Noyes. As I mentioned, I think he's our Big Biscuit player of the game. If you guys have any detestments to that, feel free to chop up another name.
Absolutely not. If you're a guy that's able to come off the bench in limited minutes in some fashion and put up 21, you certainly deserve a Big Biscuit.
I've been saying we need to get a Big Biscuit for them when they are the player of the game.
Maybe we'll take it. We'll go on a field trip. We'll invite all the Big Biscuit players of the game.
Well, we owe Logan Shockley one for his last time out, but Broken Arrow getting a big victory here today. Last time out it was an 84-53 win. Tonight, not quite so much in terms of coasting to victory, but still able to get a smooth win. And you've always got to be happy with that, right, Greg?
Yeah, this is a team that takes the other team's best shots every night out. You don't go 18-1 by accident, so it's not always easy to bring it against an opponent that you've already beaten by about 40 points. And Tigers got off to a little bit of a sluggish start. Probably didn't like to see defensive effort wasn't quite as good as maybe you'd like to see at times, but give Butler a lot of credit. He played well. Williams played well, but ultimately the Tigers are sitting at 18-1. They're going to keep rolling into that rematch with Edmond North, a team that they beat by double digits last time, but it's going to be a much tougher game going into Edmond.
Going into that Siberian gym, Adam, that's a tough atmosphere to win. Is it one of those games where Broken Arrow really has to get that road victory? You feel like to kind of get that momentum going into that tournament season?
Well, it's going to be a good test for the Tigers, but what I really liked from them the second half is they really came out of the locker room with a little bit of the speed and the bursters to go up. So I like the fact that they picked up the pace, they got aggressive, and I think that's going to be key when they go play at Edmond North.
Big game coming up. That's on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. start for the boys, a 6:30 start for the girls. Girls got a big victory tonight as well. 75-7 was the final score there. So Broken Arrow going 2-0 on the night, keeping their records clean. 17-1, moving up to 18-1 for Broken Arrow. 9-0 in district play. They will be back here February 7th against Jinx, and that'll be a big district contest, another one of those games that really, if you come in sleepwalking, Jinx can catch you.
Yeah, and it'll be the third time they played this year, as they also played in a tournament. So always got to look out for the Trojans. They're not quite as talented as they've been in years past, but they're always a team that's well coached and can compete.
And before we let Adam go, let's go back to what's happening tomorrow at the event center. Tell them about that indoor percussion performance. Also got so much going on with the Wind Guard, is that right?
The Winter Guard, yeah.
Winter Guard, okay.
So the WGPO Winter Guard and Percussion of Oklahoma State Circuit, it's the first invitational tomorrow at the event center starting at 10 a.m. The middle school Winter Guard performs at 10 a.m. The indoor percussion performs at 3:40, and the high school Winter Guard performs at 7:24.
Tickets?
Available at the door, $10 for adults. Students are $5, and under 5 is free.
Your name's not up there on our screen. We'll make sure to get that fixed for you next
All
time,
that means
Adam.
is I get to come back and do this again, right?
For Adam Winkin, For Greg Spencer, for Madison Dildine, and our incredible crew, I've been Dylan Rivera. We thank you for joining us tonight, and we will catch you next time when the Tigers are in action again.